So what we're going to be building in this tutorial is a multi-chain account abstraction wallet. This means that we'll be able to sponsor transactions across multiple chains. Now this is a quick demo here. So we have a connect wallet button and I have two NFTs here. One is going to be on base Sepolia. The other one is just going to be on the regular Sepolia testnet. So if I connect a wallet here and I'm going to select my MetaMask wallet, what this is going to do is actually connect me to a smart wallet or an account abstraction wallet here. And you can see I am connected to the base Sepolia network. So what I can do is I can claim a base Sepolia NFT. And because with account abstraction, we have gasless transactions turned on. So the gas for the transaction is going to be covered by a paymaster. So my wallet here, you can see doesn't have any ETH in it. So I won't need any ETH to actually claim this NFT. I can hit claim here. I'll get a signature request. I need to sign with my EOA wallet. And once that goes through, it's going to execute the transaction here and claim an NFT to my smart wallet. So NFT claimed right here. You can see I now own two of the NFTs on the base Sepolia network. Now you can see here my wallet address ends in AE57. And normally with account abstraction wallets, we have to deploy a smart contract wallet for the user, and they are then generated a new wallet address, which is that new smart contract. But again, how account abstraction works is that is only deployed on the chain that account factory generates and deploys the smart contract wallet to. So what happens if we want to switch chains or use a different chain? Well, normally you wouldn't be able to do that with the same smart contract wallet. You would have to then deploy a account factory on a separate chain, and then that EOA wallet would then generate a new smart account or smart contract account on that other chain. But then you would have two different contract addresses. But if you use something called deterministic deploy, which we'll go over in this tutorial, you'll be able to deploy and generate those smart contracts for the smart accounts to be the same across the board no matter what chain you deploy on. This means that you can have a shared contract address or wallet address across multiple chains using account abstraction. So what we're going to do here is, again, you can see here my wallet is AE57. We're going to claim the Sepolia NFT. So when I hit the Sepolia NFT here, it's going to ask me to change network because we are on the wrong network here. So if I switch network, you'll see here that it's claiming the NFT. It switched the network. I just have to sign this signature request here. And once I sign that request, again, gasless transactions are enabled. So a paymaster is covering the gas for this transaction here. And once that NFT is claimed, there we go. You can see I now have two NFTs on Sepolia. Now, if we look at my wallet here, I am on the Sepolia network and I'm still connected to the AE57 smart wallet. Because again, we are using deterministic deployment for these smart accounts across multiple chains. And this is actually very simple to set up using smart wallets from thirdweb. And that's what we're going to be covering in this tutorial. Hey everyone, Sean Watasa here, back with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be using thirdweb's smart wallets or account abstraction to be able to support multi-chain sponsored transactions. Like explained in the beginning of this video, we're going to be able to generate smart wallets or smart accounts for users and allow them to have the same wallet address across multiple chains. Now we're going to be doing this through something called deterministic deployment, and this is actually something that you get out of the box using thirdweb's ConnectButton and integrating account abstraction. So an overview of what we're going to be going over in this video, we'll first start off by deploying a couple NFT smart contracts. We'll deploy them on different chains so that we can test out being able to claim NFTs on different chains. And then we'll implement our connect button and we'll show you how easy it is to implement account abstraction to allow things like gasless transactions, and also how to enable multi-chain support where you can again keep the same wallet address across multiple chains using smart wallets. And finally, at the end, we'll show you how you can deploy smart contracts with deterministic addresses across multiple chains so that no matter what chain you're on, your contracts share the same contract address. With all of that being said, let's jump on the computer here and start off by deploying our NFT smart contracts. So here I'm on the thirdweb dashboard. I have my wallet connected. I'm going to come over to the contracts tab here, and we're going to hit deploy contract here. And I'm just going to deploy an addition drop contract. Now, addition drop is an ERC-1155 smart contract, and we're going to be using this for our NFT for our tutorial here. I'm going to hit deploy now, and I'm going to name this one here our Sepolia NFT. And we can add an image here. So I'm just going to grab an image. So that is going to be my image for my Sepolia NFT. And then we're going to come down to the bottom, a network and chain. And here you can select any EVM compatible network or chain you want to deploy your smart contract to. Now for this tutorial, I'm going to be deploying my smart contracts on Sepolia and on base Sepolia's testnet right over here. But feel free to deploy these to whatever chain you want to. If you want to test out the multi-chain support for smart wallets, just choose separate chains that you want to test them on. So we're going to hit Sepolia here, and I'm going to hit deploy now. Then we'll confirm that transaction there. We'll sign this signature request here to add it to our contract dashboard. There we go. It's successfully deployed. And we're brought to our Sepolia NFT contract dashboard here. Next, we'll just prep our NFTs here. So I'm going to come to NFTs tab on the left, and we're just going to do a single upload. And we're just going to call this one NFT number 1 here. We'll give it our image here, and I'm just going to lazy mint this NFT here. So we'll sign or confirm this transaction here. There we go. Let's now set up a claim condition for this NFT here so that it can be claimed. So I'm going to just select this here, select claim condition, and we're going to add a phase, and we're just going to add a public phase. We're not going to charge anything or set any values or anything for limits. We're just going to leave everything as is here and save the phase and confirm that transaction. There we go, and that is all we need for our Sepolia NFT. I'm gonna open up another tab here, and I'm gonna do the same thing, but on a different chain here. So here, coming back to my contracts tab, I'm gonna deploy a new contract. Again, an addition drop contract. We'll deploy, we're gonna call this one our base Sepolia one NFT. We'll give it an image. This one will give a different image here, and I'm gonna change the network or chain here. This one is going to be the base Sepolia testnet. We're gonna switch network here, and I'm going to deploy this contract. We'll confirm that transaction, and then we'll sign the signature request to add it to our dashboard. And there you go, we'll add the NFT, so come to the NFT tab. We'll do a single upload here. We'll call this NFT01 again. We'll add the image and lazy mint it to our contract. We'll confirm that transaction. There you go, we'll select that NFT, we'll set up the claim condition. So we'll go to the claim condition tab, add a public phase here, and then just save that phase. We'll keep everything as the default here. Confirm that. There you go. We now have our 2 contracts set with each having 1 NFT we can claim from those contracts. So now that we have our contract set, let's go ahead and let's build a front-end application here using thirdweb's Connect SDK to be able to connect to our application with a smart wallet. Again, we'll have that smart wallet have access to multi-chain support, and then we'll be able to claim different NFTs from different chains to the same wallet address. So coming over to my terminal here, we're going to create a new Next project using thirdweb's Connect SDK. And I'm going to run npx thirdweb create -- app here. And what we're going to do here is create a new Next project. So let's just let this load. And what this is going to do is create us a Next starter project here, which is going to be on Next.js 14. It's also going to have the thirdweb Connect SDK, and it's also going to support TypeScript and Tailwind CSS as well. We'll just name our project here. So we'll just call this multi-chain AA support. We'll use again Next.js for this tutorial. And once that's done, we'll change into our multi-chain AA support here and open this up in our code editor. All right, once we have that open up, we'll just set up our project here with our thirdweb API key, our client ID. So coming over to the .env file, you can see here that we just need to provide it with our client ID. So we'll come back to the thirdweb dashboard here. We'll go to the settings tab, and in the settings tab, you'll be able to get your API key. Now, if you don't have one, you'll have to create an API key. We'll link down in the description below a link to a tutorial and guide on how to create an API key, along with more information about things like the services and everything you can enable with it. But I'm gonna copy my client ID here, come back here to the .env.example file, and I'm gonna paste that in here for my client ID. Now I'm gonna rename my .env file here to get rid of the .example and just leave it at .env. So from here, if we open up our terminal and we just run this locally here, I'm gonna just run yarn dev. we should be brought up with the thirdweb starter template here. So we'll let this load. And the starter template should give you everything from a connect button and everything to start building your application out. So you can see here we have a connect button that we are going to use to actually set up our account abstraction and everything. But now that we have this all set up and configured, let's start building out our app here. So coming back to my code editor here, I'm gonna just drop that down. I'm gonna create a new folder here, and I'm gonna name this components. And in the components, I'm gonna create a new file, and we're gonna call this NFT claimer.tsx. This is going to be our component here for claiming our NFTs. So we're just going to create right here a type for our NFT claim props. Close this here. And for our NFT here, we're going to need our receiver address, which is going to be a string. We'll need our drop contract, which is going to be our thirdweb contracts that we deployed. Then we're going to need the token ID of the token ID that we're claiming. Because again, we did deploy some ERC-1155, so we're going to specify that we're claiming token ID 0. We're going to create our component here. And then what we'll do here is come back. Actually, let's just give this a header here really quick. I'll just call this NFT. And then we'll come back to our source folder. In the app folder, we'll go to the page.tsx. And we'll just remove all of this here because we no longer need this. And we'll just get rid of all of the things within the div tags here. So I'm gonna get rid of the imports as well too. And all we're gonna add in here is our NFT claimer and then our second NFT claimer here, because we're gonna have two NFT claimers here. And then again, we need to provide each of these NFT claimers with the information of our NFTs. So the first thing we need to add is our receiver address. And that receiver address is going to be, again, the address of the connected wallet. And we can get our connected wallet here by using a hook here from thirdweb. So we're going to store this in a variable called account. And we're going to use the use active account hook here. Up at the top, we are going to use the use client here. Next, we need to get the drop contract. So we're going to get our contracts here. We'll call this one here our Sepolia contract. And this is going to equal the get contract here from thirdweb, where we need to provide it our client. We'll say that is the client from the client.ts file. So in the starter template here, you have a client.ts file. This is where we create the client that we can use throughout our app here. So you need to provide it the client. We need to provide it the chain. So here we're going to define the chain here, and we're going to say this is going to be Sepolia. And we can import Sepolia here. And sorry, this is supposed to be defined chain. And then we can import Sepolia here from thirdweb/chains. And then finally, we need to provide it the contract address, which we'll get our contract address in just a bit. But we're going to do the same thing here, but for our base Sepolia contract. So let's just say base Sepolia contract. Chain this time is going to be base Sepolia. And then we're going to get our contract address there. So let's come back here and let's grab our contract addresses. So we have our Sepolia NFT. I'll copy that and paste that into this one. And then we'll come back and get our base Sepolia NFT. Copy that and paste that into this one here. So here for our drop contract, this is going to be our Sepolia contract. And for this one here, our drop contract is going to be our base Sepolia. And let me spell Sepolia right here and Sepolia right. There we go. Then the final thing we need is the token ID. So token ID for this one is going to be token ID 0. Now we do need to provide this as a big int. So we'll say 0n. And then same thing with the other one. We are going to give it the token ID 0. And looks like what do we got here? NFT claimer. So we just got to import this here. So make sure we import our NFT claimer from our components here. And we make sure we export this here. And we're going to make sure that big int is signed string. So we got to make sure that token ID here should be a big int, not a string. And there we go. So now we should see displayed 2 NFTs within our app here. So let's come back And there we go. We have two NFTs right over there. So we have our two contracts. We're just going to get and display the data of those contracts in here. So let's come back to our page.tsx and let's just give this a title and everything here really quick. So right inside this div above our NFT claimers, we'll just add in a title here. So there we go, multi-chain sponsored transactions. And then we will wrap our two NFT claimers here in a div. We'll give this div here just the styling of a flex row, just so they're next to each other here. There we go. And then we'll add a little divider in between both of those there. So coming back to the NFT claimer, let's now build out this component for each of the NFT collections. So we're just going to give this div some styling here. We're just going to give it a flex column with a margin on the y-axis of 8. What we need to do is get the information of our NFTs. One, we need to get the NFT metadata so we can display an image of the NFT, and then let's get the amount of the owned NFTs that we can display here. So let's get our NFTs here. We're going to use the use read contract hook from thirdweb, which returns us a data here, which we will just call NFT. And then we can also check is loading, which we'll name this one is NFT loading. And again, we're going to use the use read contract hook. And then we're going to use the get NFT extension here from thirdweb. And the get NFT extension we can import here from thirdweb/extensions. And then this is for our ERC-1155 tokens. And in here, we need to provide it with the contract, which is going to be our drop contract. And then we need to provide it with our token ID that we want to get the information of, and that's going to be our token ID. We can do the same thing and this time get the balance of the owned NFTs that the user has. So this time we'll get data. We'll call this one here owned NFTs. And this is going to be use read contract. And this one we're going to use the balance of extension. And we need to then provide this with a few pieces of information. We're going to say the contract here is going to be our drop contract. The owner is going to be the receiver address. The token ID will be the token ID. And then we'll have some query options here saying that we need a receiver address in order to check the balance of here. So now we have the NFT metadata and we have the balance of the NFT that is owned. We can now build out our application here. And we're going to make something really simple here. So we're just going to make sure that is loading NFT is true. And we have our NFT's metadata. If it's loading here, we'll just display some loading text. If we do have our NFT metadata, then we'll just display our NFT metadata. So we'll say if there is an NFT and we have the NFT metadata, we'll display an image using thirdweb's media renderer component here. We need to give this our client, which is going to be our client from our client.ts file. And then we need to provide it with our source here, which is going to be our NFT metadata image. And if we do have a wallet address here, we're going to display a claim button. And if we don't have a wallet address, then we'll just say, hey, to claim this NFT. We'll give that some styling there. And then again, if we do have an address, we're going to show some text here. And we'll show the text saying you own, we'll say owned NFTs dot toString. So we'll show the balance. If we don't have the balance, we'll just say 0 for now. NFTs on, and then we'll get the name of the chain from the drop contract dot chain dot name. And then that will display the name of the contract or the chain that we deployed our NFT to. And then below that, we'll have a button to claim the NFT. And that button is going to be a transaction button from thirdweb that just says claim here. And we'll get a claim transaction here by creating a transaction. And we're going to say that we're going to use the claim to extension here. And the claim to extension, we provided our contract, which is going to be our drop contract. We'll provide the token ID we're claiming, which is going to be our token ID. who we're sending it to, which is going to be the receiver address, and then the quantity that we want to claim, which is going to be 1. We just need to make sure that we provide it as a big int here. And then we'll say once our transaction is successful, we will then just alert that the NFT has been claimed. And there we go. So we come back to our app here, and now we have our 2 different NFTs that we can claim. So we set up our NFT claims for the 2 different NFTs on 2 different chains. Now, how do we connect a smart wallet to be able to claim those 2 NFTs on separate chains to the same wallet address? So again, like I explained back in the beginning of this video, normally when you have account abstraction and you have a account factory contract that deploys these smart contract wallets for you, they deploy a contract on that specific chain. But when you go into a different chain, you have to then deploy a new smart contract wallet on that separate chain. With deterministic contract deployments is allow a user to have that same smart contract wallet across different chains no matter what. And by default here at thirdweb, when you enable account abstraction with your application, this is out of the box. So we'll take a look at this changelog post here for multi-chain smart accounts, and you can read a little bit more about it. But like I said, the account factory address is now optional. So before, you would have to deploy your own smart contract, your own account factory smart contract on the chain that you wanted to support account abstraction on, and then every time someone connected to your account, they would be deployed a new smart wallet. Now, by default, all you need to do is enable account abstraction within your application through your Connect button, and the account factory is already pre-deployed on all chains to this factory address right over here. And now this means that you can switch between chains and keep the same wallet address that you have on all those chains. And all we need to do here is set the account abstraction here to our Connect button and select the default chain here that we want to connect to. And then we can say here if we want to sponsor gas or not. So all we need to do is take this here, come to our page. We need to add ourselves a Connect wallet button. We'll provide this here, our client. And then again, we just add in account abstraction. So if we don't have account abstraction on here, and I come over to my app, you'll see here that we have a Connect wallet button. And when I connect something like a MetaMask, it's just going to connect to my regular MetaMask wallet here. But if I want to connect to the account abstraction and have a smart wallet, let me just uncomment that here. We'll come back to our app. Ooh, let me disconnect here, and then we'll reconnect. When we connect with MetaMask, this is actually going to connect us to our smart wallet. You can see here it says wrong network because I was on base Sepolia, and by default we said, hey, you need to connect to the Sepolia chain. So we're going to connect here. I'm connected to Sepolia here, but if I wanted to switch over back to base Sepolia here, we can just switch network and it would switch me over to the base Sepolia network. Still all on the same wallet address. You can see here now we have a signature request that pops up, and this is actually going to claim the NFT here for us. Again, we have gasless enabled, so we're not going to have to pay any gas. We just need to sign the signature request, and there we go. We now have 1 NFT on the base Sepolia chain. Same thing comes here. If I come back and I try to claim the Sepolia one, I can switch network here. This will switch network to the Sepolia chain, keep the same wallet address, and claim the NFT here once I sign that signature request on the base or on the Sepolia chain. And you will see here that our NFT total will increase once the NFT has been claimed. So again, with just 2 lines of code, you can enable smart wallets and account abstraction to your Web3 application. And by default, the factory account address is going to be the shared account factory here. We'll link this changelog documentation down in the description below. But all account factories are pre-deployed on this contract here across all chains. And this by default is the account abstraction contract that you will use if you enable account abstraction with the Connect button. Now you can still deploy your very own account abstraction smart contracts if you choose to do so. And if you wanted to deploy those across multi-chains, you could do that as well. Down in the description below, we'll link down this repo right here for deterministic deploys. And this will allow you to deploy a smart contract across multiple chains and deploy them all to the same smart contract address. So you can clone this repo here, you can run it, you can follow the instructions here. You just need to provide your wallet private key along with your thirdweb secret key, and then select the contract that you want to deploy. So if we come down here to our index.ts, You can select the chains that you want to deploy to. So you can put in an array of the chains you want to deploy the smart contract to. Right over here, you can see it will go through and deploy the account factory, have the entry point and everything entered for the contract parameters here. And it will then deploy those to the selected chains up top. So this again will be linked down in the description below as well if you want to deploy your account factory across multiple chains too. But again, this is a really cool feature that allows much more flexibility and much more use cases with smart wallets and account abstraction. Let's say you wanted to have, like this example here, an NFT on Sepolia or ETH mainnet, and this is the NFT that you wanted to use for your game or application, but maybe you wanted to support tokens or other types of NFTs on an L2 or a different chain. You can now do that with the multi-chain support here and allow things like tokens and everything to exist on other chains, allow a user to still have the same wallet address across those chains and be able to seamlessly toggle between those all within your same app. You'll be able to check the same wallet address to see balances and everything by just specifying the chain that you need to check it on. This also works extremely well with things like in-app wallets, where you can now connect and create a wallet for a user using things like social login or email, along with phone number as well. So let's just sign in with social login. We'll sign in with Google here. So if I sign in with my Google account here, we'll switch networks. We're on the Sepolia chain by default. You can see I don't own any NFTs here, but I can claim this NFT. The great thing with in-app wallets is I won't have to sign that signature request pop-up that you would normally get in something like a MetaMask wallet. So I can claim here on the Sepolia chain. So let's claim that NFT. Again, gasless is turned on. I don't need to pay for any gas. So I can come into an app, sign in with my email, claim an NFT on ETH or Sepolia here. Then I can come over to base Sepolia here, claim that NFT. It'll then toggle my chain automatically for me. It'll then claim that NFT, pay for the gas, and you can create these seamless experiences on multiple chains all within your Web3 app. Again, super easy by just adding a couple lines of code using thirdweb's Connect button. And there you go. We now have NFTs on Sepolia and base Sepolia, all using the same wallet address right over here. So there you have it. You can see how easy it is, again, to add smart wallet or account abstraction to your Web3 applications. And with just 2 lines of code, you can have that multi-chain capability to have the same wallet address for your smart accounts across multiple chains. I hope you folks found value in this video. And if you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on more tutorial videos just like this. If you have any questions or you need any support, we'll drop a link down in the description below where you can open up a support ticket, and our support team will be happy to help you out and answer any of the questions you have. But again, I hope you folks enjoyed this video, and until next time, see ya.